He claimed he wasn't ready for kids. Then I found out he had one with my sister. In the end, the baby is mine. I sat in my cozy home in Oregon, the words hitting me like a cold wind. My name is Sarah, and I'm caught in a painful truth. It's the kind of story that makes you wonder, should I be angry, ashamed, or just cry? My house was small, nestled on a quiet street where oak trees turned orange and yellow each fall. I worked as a humble schoolteacher, while my husband, James, was a fancy engineer who always wore crisp suits. We'd been married for 10 years. And we had no kids. "I'm not ready for children," he'd say, and I trusted him. Looking back, I feel so foolish. It was a chilly October day, the air smelling of wet grass and fallen leaves. I was in the kitchen, holding a steaming mug of plain black tea, just how I liked it. The doorbell chimed, and I froze. Nobody visited without calling first. I opened the door to find my sister, Lily, her hair messy, dark strands clinging to her cheeks like she'd been running. She held a baby, about 9 months old, wrapped in a soft blue blanket. The baby's big eyes stared at me, steady and curious. "Sarah," Lily said, her voice sharp, "I need you to watch her for a week. I'm heading to Chicago for work meeting," she added. Before I could speak, she pushed the baby into my arms. "Her name is Mia," Lily said, already turning away. She called out a quick, "Thanks," and didn't look back as she got into her car. The car door slammed, and I stood there, Mia squirming against me. I shut the front door, the silence in the house feeling heavy. I set Mia on the couch, her tiny hands grabbing at mine. She smiled, and something warm stirred in my chest, mixed with a strange ache. I wasn't mad, but I wasn't happy either. Lily and I were never close. Growing up, our parents made it clear, Lily was their favorite, their shining star. I was just the quiet one, always in the background. "Sarah, let Lily have it," Mom would say sweetly when I wanted something. "She's younger. You need to share." I'd nod, swallowing my hurt, because that's what I always did. I remember one Christmas when I was 12 and Lily was 8. I'd saved my pocket money for months to buy a little necklace. Wrapped it in shiny green paper with a ribbon. Mom glanced at it and said, "Oh, honey, give it to Lily, she'll wear it better." Lily wore it once, then lost it. I didn't cry. I cried so much before. I was used to it. Now, here was Mia, this little girl on my couch. Her blanket was worn at the edges, and she had Lily's sharp, perfect nose. I don't know why I agreed to take her. Maybe it was just habit. Doing what family asked. Family was all I had, even if it was a thin thread, frayed from years of silence. No calls, no visits, just me, my books, and James's excuses. I picked Mia up and carried her to the kitchen. The teapot was cold now. I set her in an old high chair I'd kept, maybe out of some silly hope from long ago. Mia babbled, her big eyes looking right into me. I still loved kids, even if my house felt empty. With Mia here, the house felt alive. She was loud, giggling all day, like a burst of sunlight. I didn't hate her, I couldn't. But I didn't know what to do with her either. I went upstairs and pulled an old crib from the attic. It was dusty, the wood scratched at the edges. James had bought it years ago when I still dreamed of babies. "Someday," he'd said, then tucked it away. Someday never came. I cleaned the crib and set it by the window. Moonlight spilled in, and Mia fell asleep fast, her tiny chest rising and falling. She was a piece of Lily, and that hurt in a way I couldn't explain. They didn't care about me, but I still felt the sting. At 7:03, Mia's cries woke me, sharp like an alarm. I stumbled upstairs. The crib was messy, blankets twisted, Mia kicking. I lifted her, her warmth against me, her head resting on my shoulder. For a moment, it was just us, the house quiet. Then the phone rang downstairs. I carried Mia down, the screen showing an unknown number. "Hello?" My voice was rough from sleep. "This is Riverside Hospital," a serious voice said. "Your sister Lily was in a car accident. She's in critical condition. Please come now." The words hit like a slap. I couldn't breathe. "Okay," I managed, and the call ended. I grabbed my keys, Mia's coat, her bag, and rushed out. Rain poured down, blurring the windshield as I drove. Mia sat quietly in her car seat, staring out the window. The streets were slick, horns honking. I gripped the wheel, my knuckles white. "Lily," Who'd left her baby with me? Was I worried? Angry? Riverside Hospital loomed ahead. I parked, scooped up Mia, and ran inside. The emergency room was chaos, nurses darting, machines beeping. A woman at the desk pointed me to the ICU. Room 14. I saw them before I saw Lily. James sat in a chair, head in his hands, his suit wrinkled, sleeves stained with blood. My parents were there too, Mom sobbing, mascara streaking her face, Dad pacing, his boots clicking. They didn't notice me yet. And I stopped, my heart pounding. James had said he was in Boston for work. Gone 2 days ago. My parents had called last week, saying they were visiting Arizona for a trip. Lily told me she was going to Chicago. They were all lying. I stepped closer, Mia shifting in my arms. James looked up, his eyes wide. Sarah, he croaked, his voice raw. Mom gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Dad froze, staring at me like I was a ghost. The air felt thick, heavy with the smell of antiseptic and blood. A doctor passed by, glanced at me. Family? I nodded. He led me to Lily's room. There she was, hooked to machines, a bandage on her head, barely moving. Her face was pale, her breathing shallow. I set Mia in a chair and stepped to the bed. Lily's eyes fluttered, unfocused. Sarah, she whispered, her voice faint. What happened? I asked, my words sharp. She didn't answer at first, her hand twitching, reaching for mine. It was cold, weak. Mia, she breathed, so soft I barely heard. Mia is James's. The room spun. My heart stopped. Mia was James's daughter. I pulled back, her hand slipping away, her eyes closed. A nurse rushed in, but I didn't move. Lily was gone. I turned. James stood in the doorway, watching. He knew I'd heard. His face crumpled. Sarah, he started. Shut up, I snapped, my voice ice. Mom was crying harder, Dad mumbling excuses. I didn't care. I picked up Mia. She was their secret, their betrayal. I walked past them, out of the room, into the rain. It soaked my hair, my jacket. I strapped Mia into her car seat, got in, and drove. My hands shook. They'd all lied, my husband, my sister, my parents. I wasn't family to them. I was just a piece they moved around. The next morning, I thought of Mom's calls. Always about Lily. She's fine. Sarah, call her, she'd say. I never did. I thought of Dad's silence when I asked about their trips. I'd trusted them, loved them, but got nothing back. Mia was proof, James's daughter. Lily's daughter, not mine. The pain cut deep, like a blade twisting. I couldn't cry anymore. The house looked empty as I pulled up. I parked, sat there, rain tapping the roof. I felt more alone than ever. The truth was heavy, crushing me. Inside, the house was dark. I carried Mia, asleep in her car seat, and set her in the crib upstairs. Moonlight lit her face. She was theirs. But she was with me now. I couldn't sleep. I poured black coffee, no sugar, bitter and hot. My laptop glowed on the table. I sat down, hands steady. James's phone was synced to our cloud. He never changed the password. Emails, texts, photos, everything was there. Miss you. L. He wrote 3 months ago. A photo of them, James and Lily, laughing at a cafe, her hand on his arm. Another from a year ago. Can't wait to meet our girl. Our girl, Mia. My chest tightened, but I didn't cry. I saved it all, every message, every lie, onto a flash drive. Security camera footage was next. Our front door, time-stamped, James sneaking out late. Back before morning. Lily's car in the driveway once. Caught on tape. I saved that too. Morning came, gray and cloudy. Mia woke, crying. I fed her, changed her, and she grabbed my finger, holding tight. Her eyes were James's, but I didn't flinch. You're not theirs anymore, I whispered. She didn't understand, but I did. I showered, dressed simply, and packed Mia's bag. The drive to my parents' house was quiet. Just the hum of the engine and soft rain. I parked, took a deep breath, my face calm. They wouldn't see it coming. James was there, looking rough, hair messy, shirt untucked. Mom sat beside him, clutching at tissue. Dad stood by the coffee pot, shoulders slumped. They looked up as I walked in. Sarah, James said, standing, his voice shaky. I'm so sorry. Don't. I cut him off, sharp. Mom sniffed. Honey, we didn't mean. Are you okay? I asked, my voice soft. Too soft. James blinked. Yeah, I'm fine. Just shaken. Good, I said, nodding. And you? Mom? Dad? They mumbled yes. Confused. I smiled. Just a little. I was worried. I lied. Smooth as honey. They believed it. James sat down, relieved. Mom patted my hand. Good girl, Sarah. The words stung, but I didn't show it. I sat with them, Mia on my lap, talking about nothing, weather, plans. Lily's funeral came and went. They thought I'd forgiven them. Back home, the real work started. It was late, Mia asleep. I opened my laptop, created an anonymous account, Shadow Girl 456. I posted on a local forum. Portland secrets. Engineer cheats with sister-in-law. Baby involved. I attached a blurred screenshot of James's text. His name hidden. Let them dig. I hit send. The screen flashed. My post was live. My heart stayed calm. I sipped my coffee. Checked the replies. Whoa. Spill more. Any proof? I didn't answer. I closed the laptop. The house creaking around me. The rain had stopped. I thought of the kids I'd always wanted. James knew I'd lie awake, dreaming of a child calling me mom. He'd kiss my head. Promise, someday. Someday was for him and Lily. Not me. The pain was still there. A dull throb. But it was changing. Turning hard. I didn't break. The next day, I called my boss. I need a week off. I said, family stuff. He didn't ask questions. I stayed quiet in public. Invisible. I spent the day with Mia. We'll figure this out, I told her. She babbled. And I smiled. I wasn't James's anymore. I was something new. Something they wouldn't see until it was too late. Mia cried upstairs. I went to her, lifted her from the crib. She was warm, a small piece of their mess. I hummed to her, we're in this together. She didn't understand, but I did. This was just the start. They'd lied, hidden, hurt me. Now I'd hurt them, quietly, carefully. They wouldn't see the storm coming. The house felt tight, like a cage. It was past midnight, Mia asleep, breathing softly. In the living room, a single lamp glowed yellow. Papers were scattered on the table, bank statements, emails, the flash drive. I called Laura Bennett's office. A lawyer. This is Sarah, I said. I need to see her tomorrow. 9 a.m., the assistant replied. I hung up, my plan forming. Morning came, and I dressed Mia in a green onesie. We were out by 8. The city alive with honking cars and coffee shop steam. Laura's office was downtown, all sleek glass. The receptionist nodded. She's waiting. Laura's suit was sharp, her eyes sharper. Divorce, I said, sitting with Mia on my hip. I want it clean, full custody of Mia, half of everything. My voice was firm. She tapped her pen. Proof? I handed her the flash drive. James had an affair with my sister. Mia's his. She smirked faintly. We've got this. Paperwork was done by noon. I signed. Step 1 complete. Back home, the phone rang. James. I let it ring twice. Then answered. Sarah. He pleaded. We need to talk. Talk, I said. Flat. I messed up. I'm sorry. I love you. You loved Lily. I cut in. You chose her. You chose Mia with her. Silence. Please, he whispered. Don't do this. Too late. I hung up. The pain was gone, replaced by something lighter. I was almost free. The forum buzzed. My post had exploded. Shares. Comments. He's done. Wife's got courage. They didn't know it was me. But James's company did. Rumors spread. His boss was furious. His job gone. I didn't call to check. I felt it. The pieces falling. Then the next step. I had small stocks. Investments James mocked years ago. A rival company, Peak Innovations, was growing fast. Using a throwaway email, I sent. James available. Talented. I attached a polished, fake resume. They bit. He got an interview. He'd think it was a lifeline. It was a trap. I owned enough shares to nudge them later. Let him go when he settled. I sipped water, cold and sharp. The house was still. Mia slept. The storm was building, and I was ready.